Hello and welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name's Brad Lake and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today I'm going to be talking about Oathsworn, All In, one of the biggest Kickstarters going on this month. Right behind it will be Cthulhu Death May Die, and you know that's one of our favorites. Today we're going to talk about Oathsworn. Should you back it? Should you not? Do you even care? Do you like Kickstarters? Don't you like Kickstarters? I'm kind of a Kickstarter person. I haven't really been talking about it on the channel, but we're going to go through it because this is like the biggest thing going on right now. So over here, let's jump to the page. They are up to $1,900,000. They've got 13,329 backers. That's a lot of people. And they've got 9.3 rating on BGG. It is like, if you don't have this, you're missing the next, what is it? Gloomhaven. This is the next Gloomhaven. So, have I backed it? Stick around, find out at the end if I backed it. Did I go all in? Did I cheap out? Where did we end up? So, let's take a look at this. We've got some nice story and gameplay. Let's see what our pledge levels are. You got $1 if you want to follow it. And then you can have access to the pledge manager. They did say things will go up a little bit if you late back it. So, you know, they're always like enticing you. Put your money out there right now. We want it. And then we have the base game, which is the Standee version, $125. The Deep Woods game, including 27 oversized miniatures, and all unlocked stretch goals from previous campaigns, and the mystery envelopes contain all the encounters, and the standees to replace the mystery chest of the core pledge. Shipping and VAT will be down below, and we'll have to see what that's hitting you for, because shipping is not cheap, but this will be the cheapest way you get this shipped. It does say the game includes 27 oversized miniatures, so that is, their miniatures are oversized, just their basic ones, so that's going to include the heroes and some of the smaller guys. But I know I've seen some of the bosses, like the rat is a standee, so I'm wondering if those 27 miniatures include a couple of the big guys. I don't think it does, based on what I've seen. Then it jumps up to a core pledge of $225 or more, and a full copy of Oathsworn Into the Deep Woods in 3 giant boxes. So think about a full Calyx shelf, if not a little bit more. Both the base game and the mystery chests 1 and 2. It contains 104 large-scale miniatures with all the encounters, the hidden mystery boxes, and so on. So you're going to get everything going in there that you would need to play the game, with all the blinged out miniatures and stuff like that. And then for $375, and they're saying you save $80. The ultimate package includes all available content for Oathsworn Into the Deep Wood. You will receive 1 copy of the base game, 2 mystery chests, the terrain box, which is the houses and the trees and things like that. And let's keep going. The dice tray, the pouch, the pack, new secret box, hardback art book, the map, metal coins, companion app. This pledge is fully unlocked from the start. So gives you everything. So here's a picture of that. All in, all the stuff. You've got these 3 big boxes, all these little boxes back here in those boxes, and all your secret envelopes that you're opening as you go through the campaign. 1 battle map. And then you're going to fight the different bosses on the same map in the battle. I don't know if this map flips over and it's 2-sided, so you have, you know, a forest side and then maybe something else. And then you got all your characters. You got, let's see, 4, 8, 12 different characters you can be in the game. 1 to 4 players, 30 to 60 minutes for the story, 90 to 2 hours for the encounter, the boss battle itself. 14 and up. So 65 hours of gameplay and 21 chapters. So the question would be here, is this something you're going to get to the table? Are you going to be able to carve out 65 hours of time? Like Gloomhaven has so much information and so many scenarios and so forth and so on. I never got through the whole thing. Now, I know some people on channels have gotten through it, and others have gotten through it twice. And hats off to you. I never found that much time, or my boys lost interest in it, and so we kind of stopped playing it. Now this one has me a little bit more. The hook's in me because of all the FOMO going on, and there's really 3 modes that you can play with this. One, playing single mode, you get your character, and you're going to be able to elevate your character and level your character and do all the things that you normally would, kind of D&D-esque or Gloomhaven-esque. And then you can go through the story and do all that. But then the other 3 characters you're going to play are kind of just like companions that you're going to control, but you don't have to like manage all of their skills and manage all their weapons. They're just going to have this like basically a cheat sheet. Here's your warrior, does this, move them around, use those values as you're fighting the boss, and go from there. So that's good for solo play. The other thing I like about it, and then you can just do the regular campaign mode where you're doing campaign, boss battling, campaign, boss battling, and with friends, and try to do like once a week, once a month, and get through this and enjoy it that way, which is how the whole experience is created. Or you can skip the narrative part and go right into kind of the boss battle part. And I think that's where it's allowing me to be like, okay, I want to finish this game, and maybe I don't have time to go through all the narrative, but I want to fight all the bosses. And I love Cthulhu Death May Die, and this would kind of let me just kind of like do a one-shot, go in and do a boss battle and have a really good boss battle fight for this game. So that's attractive. And then you look at the components. I've seen the miniatures, and I know everybody's raving about the miniatures, and they're decent. They're not the best. Now, I compare this to anything that Games Workshop puts out, and so board games are just, they're basically a step down a lot of times. Now, CMON is really good, and they're probably the closest I've seen, I think, to having something on the Games Workshop side of things. But Games Workshop has been doing it for so long, and their miniatures are all put together, and they're like models, and they're complex, and you can just get a lot more detail in those. So I kind of look at things in board games with a little bit like, it's just not quite as detailed. Now, I haven't played Kingdom Death Monster, and those are resin casts, and resin casts are really detailed and look really good. But you get into these, and everything's oversized, which is kind of cool on the table, but they're not quite as detailed as you think they would be, even for being a bigger model. But it is really cool looking on the table. We've got maps, we've got dice trays, books, all kinds of things for $375. So look at all these things. Upgrade kit. Now, if you buy like the base game and you want to get the upgrade, it looks like it's $15 here. And then if you already have the game and you're wanting just some of the new stuff, you're going to be spending $100, $95, but you're going to be paying shipping on top of that. And we look down here, you look at some of the guys. Now, like I said, they look good. I'm not knocking them, but if you like, look at the rat here, the hair and the detail in some of those little things like that, I just think are not as detailed as I like on some of my expensive miniatures. We got the Huntress, we got the Witch, we got the Cure. So what does all this mean, Brad? Are you backing this or not? Let's drag this out just a little bit longer. We got a priest, we got a little bit of everybody. It's kind of Gloomhaven meets D&D meets boss battler. So everything I've heard about the narrative is great. The app has a professional actor who walks you through it. They highly recommend doing that. Maybe if you have Apple TV, or you're into the Samsung side of things, you can project that up on the TV with your game table and like listen to that while you're going through everything to kind of make it more immersive. And then the battle system, I kind of scoffed at it until people started playing it and being able to explain it a little bit better, because it seems so copy of Gloomhaven. But they've refined it a bit, and you've got the dice along with the cards you have in Gloomhaven. So if you're kind of like counting cards, a la, poker or Pandemic, and starting to see that like you've had some good cards, you can flip over to the dice. Or if you decide you don't like the dice anymore and want to flip over to the cards, you can kind of go back and forth. Or if you just want to like the random chaos of dice, or you like always card counting and kind of knowing like, oh, this is coming up and this is next and what's happening and how well or bad things are going to happen over here on the reveal deck for your numbers. That'll be kind of cool. I'm interested in that. I'm also interested in it's got a programming aspect for the boss battling, where you take your ability and you kind of put it away after you use it, or I don't know if it's putting it away or if you're like putting it up there and it comes down and comes down and comes down and finally then you get to use it. I'm not sure which way it works in that sense, but I've used it, it goes away for a little while, and then it comes back, and then I get to reuse it again. And how you want to manage that during your boss battle fight. Got some nice cards. We got the encounter boards. Looks like they have a kind of game tray a la organization thing going on here. We've got dice, all the normal kinds of stuff. Hidden bags, hidden sleeves so you can keep everything secret. Got some tracking items and sheets. You got spiral bound notebooks. Got all kinds of rule books. You got the fully integrated narrative campaign app if you don't want to sit there and read. So you've got all these different ways, I think, to play the game. So is it worth all of this? You got $45 for the train. You got some pretty cool premium dice. Although $25 is expensive for dice, but the industry has taught us that, oh, look, shiny dice. They need to be expensive when they're really not. We've got the official dice tray. Got these nice pouches. Now, I'm a sucker for these pouches. And got art books, which I think are interesting, but I hardly ever break them out if I ever get one. The map pack isn't really game related. It's just more something to put up on the wall. But maybe you could use it for the game. But I think it's more of a display piece, kind of like a really nice poster. We've got the secret box. We've got metal coins. Everybody likes metal coins. It comes with the premium sleeves that hopefully fit in the box. These integrated armory items where you can change the different aspects of your warrior. I've heard good and bad. A lot of people say like they come off as you're moving the pieces around, and so like you just want to like super glue them in and just say like this axe is that or this or whatever. I maybe use some of the tack, the white tack or something to hold them in a little bit better. It'll be interesting to see if that's what's going on. So all the main channels have done this. We've got Quackalope and Board Game Co. and we got I forget this guy's name from the Wolfpack, and we've got a Dice Tower. Tom Vassell really liked this. We've got Rado and the guy on the right, and I can't remember names right now. He really liked the Standee version. In the end, he was like, I really just, want the smaller package and didn't mind moving the Standees around. And then we've got King of Average, and he really likes this game and likes this company and the models and so forth and everybody. And got my guys over here at Tablenaughts, and they really liked it. So I haven't seen a bad review of it, right? So am I sucked in? And you can kind of see the sizes between the main rat and typical Standee model size 32 millimeter. Now it's probably a little bit bigger Warhammer and 40K, or right around the 46 millimeters, I think is where 40K is now. So they're saying they're bigger, but I think everything model wise has gotten bigger. But in board games, probably the same size. Everything is already put together for you, minus the arms and maybe some shields. Lots of stuff. Lots and lots and lots. They're building the sale. They're trying to get you involved. Do you like this? Is this something that you're gonna want to succumb to in a year, maybe? be able to pick it up. So what are we going to do? And this is, if you look at this, this is like the size of it. So realize if you're going to spin and go all in, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And I'm betting that 2 of those boxes fit in a calyx. I'm hoping it's 2 that fit in a calyx. So there's 2 calyxes plus a couple of secret things that you're going to have to use when you're doing this. So the US is going to be $33. All in is $50. So I'm going to be throwing some money up here. So what did I do? Let's see. I did back it. I'm getting sucked into all the FOMO. I was reluctant with it the first time it came around, and I think that's you're gambling anytime you kickstart, right? And you're gambling with your money. Not that you're not going to get it, but it's more like you're gambling like, are you going to even like it? I went in all in with the Dark Tower because it had, I had history with it. I liked the old game, and I wanted that new experience. Regardless of if it was any good or not, it was going to like pull up my heartstrings from the old times. But passed on this the first time. When you go in all in the very first time the campaigns launch, you're going to have a little bit cheaper, and then all the prices go up and shipping's gone up and all those fun things that have been happening. So this is going to cost more than the first one. And then you're kind of like, am I going to get this and still like it, or am I just succumbing to all the fanfare and the marketing that's going around with this because they're doing a great job of everybody's like all in on it. So I am all in on this. I've decided that I was going to do just the standees because I've got Marvel Zombies $35, which was awesome. And I don't mind the standees. I really enjoy it. I love miniatures, but wow, for $35, what a deal. I'm really, really happy with the little standees. So what do I want to do? Why am I going all in on Oathsworn? I would say my hindrance to this was Gloomhaven not getting played, right? And so I didn't want to go all in on something again or go even buy something again where I'm really limited on these campaigns that, have such a time investment. I'm doing YouTube. I like to play a lot of different games. I don't want to just get stuck playing one game. I like all that variety. And so the thing that kind of pulled the trigger for me on this is being able to jump in and just do a boss battle. So I've got the narrative one I want. I can kind of come back and read it. Maybe I, do a couple of the narratives and enjoy the beginning of it, or I could sit and listen to it, maybe at lunch, and then come home one night and do the boss battle. So I like this ability to kind of break things up in a way that I really didn't feel like I could with Gloomhaven. And honestly, if it just has this one battle mat, the setup's going to be easier. I just pull out a box and I roll open the mat and I lay the pieces down on the board and I'm going to get to play. So those were the things that really, I'm kind of like, I want a good boss battler. I don't have one in my collection. And I think that's another part of it. I wanted this, like I got this game because I wanted this boss battler, and it's more of an abstract boss battler, and I really like the boys, but it's a different type of game. This one is actually like moving the minis around and trying to strategize and work on what's the best way to attack, and the video game version of it, but on a board game. So I'm pretty enticed with that whole thing. So I bit the bullet and I went, I am going to go all in. So I went ahead and I think Tablenaughts kind of cemented it for me. Max told me is really good. And so based on their kind of like review and being able to watch it on Quackalope and others, that's the whole point of being able to do some of these things. I don't have the game. I can't, show it off to you or do any sexy B-roll or anything like that. But I hope me talking to you about this would kind of, is it something you're interested in? Is it something you're not? I would probably not recommend all in. You got to watch your finances. Just don't load up your credit card. I'm being a dad here, right? So the value, my value rating, right, for this game, I think the value of this at $125 with the Standee version is is worth it. I would say that value is probably a 4. So, if it's a $500 for Standees, I'd say that's a value of 1. Where it is at $125, and then you're going to have 35, so it's $150. It's like let's round it up to $160. Maybe it's less than that if I think of shipping. So this game with Standees, let's say it's like a 3. It's an expensive game. You're looking at $150. So you kind of have to like balance that. Now you're going to have a lot of game here. So it really just, you kind of have to think about, are you going to play and get the hours out of it to then make $150, $10 per play. So if you pull this out 10 times, take 150 divided by 10, now you're, $15 a play. It's better than going out and eating. It's better than going to a movie, things like that, right? But if you play it once, then that movie or that experience costs you $150. Now, if you have kids or you have friends and you all get over and you can enjoy that, then the value of it, it kind of goes up. But I'm going to say, final number, 3.5. 3.5 for $150 with shipping, $160. So then the pledge with the miniatures. Now the miniatures are they going to bring you in more? Are you going to enjoy it? Do you have the space? Do you have the money? So, we're talking 45. So now you're at $265 for this. So I'm going to say the value of this one is probably a 3. Now, and it really depends. It really is going to depend on how often you pull this out. So, I would say if you like miniatures, this is probably where you want to go. Or if you have money, you just want to bleed out, or you're getting sucked in. But or you can be like me, and you can either say I'm an idiot or not. I just decided to be like, I'm gonna do it. I am gonna just go all in on this one and gonna see what happens. Are these things gonna resale? They are not gonna be worth as much on the secondary market when this next round comes. Right now, there's a bunch of people that want the one that's out there right now, and there's like $400. You will not be able to sell these for $400 after all these hit the market. Now, and if this becomes like Gloomhaven, they may start being able to market and have more and more and more boxes that come out. And I hope they can. And so you're going to see maybe the Jaws of the Lion version of Oathsworn and these kind of things maybe pop up if they continue on this trajectory. And I hope this happens, because these Kickstarter companies, that's the goal, right? So they can become self-sufficient and make a business out of it and quit their day jobs and just focus on making games and creating this company, which would be really cool to say, like, I was a part of that. And I remember them win, right? So just realize that the $375, I don't think you might be able to get your money out of it if you never played it, but just realize that, don't buy this hoping that you're going to get your money back. I would say buy it because you want to play and you want the experience and you want all the bits and all the pieces. And I would say if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I don't know if I'd be spending the $375. I was real reluctant. I was really looking at that $225, and I think it was more for that just once in an experience. I don't know if I'm going to be going more all in on things or not. I've been kind of reserved on stuff, but I looked at my budget and I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and throw this in. The other thing to remember is you won't get this for a year, and other people will have it before you. And will you be as hyped up about this, when it finally shows up? I got a couple of Kickstarters I'm going to do an unboxing here after this video. But just remember, are you going to be that hyped up for it when it finally gets here? Like when I finally got Return to Dark Tower, it was cool, but I wasn't like, oh, it was, you do come down from that high when you're wanting to go out and buy something, right? So just be aware of that and choose wisely. Make sure you can afford it. Don't rack up your credit cards. I know I'm being way too dad on this part. And what do I think the value rating is on 375 for all of this? I'm going to say it's a 2.5. think it's that great of a rating. But you know, Standee version 3.5. The 225, let's say it's a 3, and then I'm gonna say this 375. It's a 2.5 value. So could be great, could be bad. We'll see. I think the game's gonna be good, but I don't think I'm picking the best value for my money. I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to do a few more of these. I kind of like, just sitting down, talking to you guys and talking about board games. And this is just going to give me one more opportunity to do so. So have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.